Hi, Kim West, the Sleep Lady, and in today's video blog, I'm going to answer Maria's question. Here's what she sent in. Hi there, my baby girl's just turned 7 months old and her sleeping patterns are rapidly going downhill. From 4.5 to 6 months, she was sleeping from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Lucky me. Life was great, and I was a happy mom who had loads of energy to play with her baby and her 3-year-old son. Over the last month, my baby went from waking at 7 a.m. to waking at 5 a.m. wide awake. And she's not now waking at 3 a.m. wide awake until 5 a.m. I've introduced solids and in that time thinking she was hungry, but that doesn't seem to help. I've tried giving her a bottle at 3 a.m., 5 a.m. when she wakes, but she just doesn't seem hungry and she only takes 50 milliliters. I've tried resettling her in her bed, but that always ends in tears. I've tried resettling her with a dummy, but that doesn't work. How do I go about sleep training without leaving her to cry it out? I want to be a happy mom again. Thanks so much for your help. Maria. Okay, Maria. So here are some things I want you to look at. One is she well napped? You know, she's at the perfect age to sleep coach, 6 to 9 months. Really, you can get a lot changed with minimal crying. Hopefully, some of that has to do with temperament and a few other things, but in like 7 to 10 nights, you can have her largely sleeping through the night and addressing those early rising wakenings. So I want you to look at naps. Is she getting enough naps? Are the windows of wakefulness on target for her age group? And please look at the sample schedule on my blog and in my book. And making sure she's not nap deprived. Make sure she also, that window between afternoon nap and bedtime is not too big. Lots of times at 7 months, they need about 2.5 naps, maybe 3 naps. So 2 bigger, more decent naps and like a 3rd sort of bonus nap that helps them make it to bedtime without being too overtired. So I want you to check on that. That's super important with early rising. The other thing is that bedtime is early enough. You didn't mention in here what time that was. Usually at this age, it's about 7:30, and they can go oftentimes 11 hours of sleep. And I want you to make sure she's not going to bed too late. And again, awake at bedtime. Super, super important because the easiest time to put yourself to sleep is bedtime. And if she can't master that at 7 p.m., then she won't be able to do it at 5 a.m., 5:30, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It's much harder to go back to sleep at that time. Think about it. You and I are the same way. I know for me, if I get up at 5 or even 5:30 and I'm awake a little too long, enough for my brain to start tick, 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 tick with all the things I have to do, I have a hard time going back to sleep because I've gotten enough sleep to take that sleep pressure off, as they call it, to go back to sleep. But really, it's not enough to be restorative, and I'm tired somewhere in my midday, okay? And then with babies, they're tired really quickly in the morning. So I want you to look at that. And then again, making sure she's awake enough. You know, were you, between that 4.5 and 6 months when everything was sort of beautiful, were you putting her into her cot completely asleep by holding, rocking, nursing, whatever you were doing, and now she's sort of, on to you and is waking up in the early morning. So those are very important. And then of course, speak to your doctor and make sure there's no underlying medical conditions that may be causing or leading her to wake early in the morning. And it does sound like she wakes relatively happy, so hopefully there is probably not an underlying medical condition, but again, worth checking in with your doctor. And finally, I'm going to link below an article on early rising, and you can see again the tips that cause the factors that cause early rising and tips to address it, which will add further to what I've said in this video blog. Okay, hope it helps.